What is this unidentified thing from an old Czech house? It has 3 parts, and all of them are approximately 60 centimeters, or 23.5 inches each. I posted this 8 years ago in an FB group, and some suggestions in the comments have been something to raise the head of a bed, a reclining backrest for the beach, or a folding stepladder, and a washboard of some kind. I would really love to know what its original use was. It's a 19th century cheese press for squeezing out the whey before the next stage. Flip it over, stuff with curds, press down the solid part, then latch it closed with the ratcheting wood. The idea is to press the water out of the cheese as it ages, and the slats on the bottom allow the liquid to drain. What is this wooden thing? I got it from a lady in Berkeley, California, and I'm not sure what it is. I have no idea where it's from or how old it could be, but it seems to be handmade and ornate, and it's very beautiful. It's made of wood, brass, and iron. Any information would be greatly appreciated. It's a 19th century camel saddle, specially designed for the unique anatomy of the dromedary or Arabian camel, with its single prominent hump. The saddle was engineered to fit snugly around the hump, ensuring both stability and comfort for its riders. Saddles of a similar design were used by Napoleon's dromedary regiment during his Egyptian campaigns between 1798 and 1801. The creation and use of such specialized saddlery epitomized Napoleon's willingness to adapt and innovate in military logistics, enabling his forces to compete effectively in unfamiliar and challenging terrain. Does anyone know what these metal items are? I picked this from an over 100-year-old home, so I'm not sure of the era. Any light any of you can shed on any of these would be greatly appreciated. It's a Gunter's surveying chain, a 66-foot-long physical surveying instrument, introduced by English mathematician Edmund Gunter in 1620 to measure land. It consists of 100 metal links, with brass tags every 10 links, designed to make calculating areas easy. 10 square chains equal 1 acre, and 80 chains equal 1 mile. It was the standard tool for measuring land, roads, and property boundaries, especially in the British Empire and the United States until the mid-20th century. Someone gave this to me, and I believe it is for molding, but I'm just unsure for what. It's close to 3 feet long and has the wax holes still in it. They seem to have thought it's like half of an old longbow, but I don't want to get attached to that idea. Any ideas as to what this might be? It's a 1960s mahogany Foundry master pattern for Ford I-beam suspension. First piece made for pre-production pattern. All patterns produced for production after the parts were approved were duplicated from the master, at least in the era when I worked in a foundry. I worked for a foundry in Omaha, Nebraska that had hundreds of these mahogany masters in storage. When the foundry closed, the masters were sold off for pennies compared to what they were really worth. We heard that they were sold to a home decorating company that was planning on selling them as decoration and getting significant money for them mounted for display. Something of the nature of the piece you have to me would be historically significant. Maybe worth considering contacting Ford Motor Company to see if it was actually a master for the part. I think I would treasure it and find some way to display it. What is this strange device with a handle, found in a pile of scrap metal in Belgium? It looks like the more rusted part is there to guide something in the rotating part to give it texture. Someone suggested that it was used to place the border of a sewing work to put on a sewing machine, maybe a manual one. Another suggestion was a can opener, or something to do with leather making. Does anyone know what this thing actually is? It's a vintage crepe paper curling machine, a hand-cranked device used by florists and crafters to add uniform, decorative, wavy, or ruffled edges to paper. It was designed to be clamped to the edge of a table for easy operation, and it uses specialized gears to transform flat paper into delicate, textured, and curled, creating a wave lace effect commonly used for flower petals, wrapping, or party decor. What is this small, dense hunk of gold-colored metal found in the basement in Philadelphia metro area? While cleaning some water damage in my basement, I found a cardboard box most likely left behind by the previous owners of the house. It was mostly junk, like coiled lengths of insulated wiring and dry old baseballs. There was also this oddly shaped hunk of metal. One side says Bethel Foundry, October 13th, 1974, and the other side says 1924, 1974, with a design or icon in between the years. If it has a function, it's beyond me. Any searches I've made for Bethel Foundry just take me to Bethlehem Steel information. Does anyone have a clue what this could be? So I work at a foundry, and that logo is the same as a competitor of ours called Burndy, which is no longer around. They were bought out by Anderson Electric in 1995, and then by Hubbell Power Systems in 2009. Burndy Engineering Company was founded on July 19, 1924, and this is a commemorative casting for the 50th anniversary. In 1971, Burndy opened a sand casting foundry in Bethel, Connecticut, so this is where it was poured. In 2017, it was closed and moved to Leeds, Alabama. The casting is most likely brass, and whoever lived in the house before you probably worked at the foundry. It looks like you've got a new paperweight with a neat backstory. What is this weird green plastic figure, found at an antique mall in Lawrence, Kansas? I can't make heads or tails of what this little guy is, but he sure is weird, and I couldn't resist picking him up as a result. He lives in the car now. The plastic seems to be very sturdy. The vent on the back could be a whistle, and it says 1983 at the bottom. I listed where I found it because it might be some local art piece. Any ideas? It's a Phineas Peart farting rubber toy. A vintage rubber novelty gag toy, marketed as the lovable little fart. There would have been a flat, flappy rubber tube on the butt that made the fart sound when squeezed. I had one of these signed by Leslie Nielsen. He was a huge fan of fart toys and came to a sales conference at my company not long after the Naked Gun movies. I'm trying to figure out what this could be. I was just given a picture of it, so it's hard for me to confirm dimensions. It's approximately 4 inches long, not counting the wire part. And the wire part is adjustable by moving it to a different hole. The owner of the house where it was found has a good collection of sewing equipment, but they don't recognize it. Any help or insight is much appreciated. Please tell us down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.